Ghosting. Have you guys ever been ghosted?
Yes.
No.
Wait, well, can you define that?
You reached out to them and they never responded. Like you went on a date, maybe you reached out to them, they never responded.
No.
I have. He was being a little and I mean that with the utmost.
The nicest way possible.
Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast, where no topic is off limits. We're the girlfriends that keep it real and give you different perspectives, because we know one way isn't always the right way.
But my question is, I know you ghosted because we talked about your story.
I tried to ghost and it blew up in my face.
Well, there was that other one that you're like, that you were trying to ghost and he kept bothering you. And you're like, and you respond and you're like, I'm trying to ghost you.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, but I feel like that was playful though.
Yeah.
That was just playful.
That was
right?
mean guy, I think.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
I have you saved under me and a guy, okay? I'm trying to ghost you.
But have you ever ghosted, Cash?
Yeah, I've ghosted.
Why? Why do you ghost?
Yeah.
Why do you guys ghost? Like, what's the reason?
I've ghosted because sometimes it's like it just doesn't. You don't even know each other enough to the point where you need to explain yourself. You know, I only ghost like if I've gone on like one date. If I've gone on one date and it's not work, I'm just like, no, then I just don't continue. But I don't ghost people in my life where they're actually in my life. I don't.
Oh, like you've kind of gone on a few
like
dates.
I don't date somebody and then just treat them like a stranger and just stop talking to them. You know, I give them the decency to explain things and give them closure, and you know, because if anything, we're friends first before we were dating, or there's a level of friendship and mutual respect, you know. So me, if I've ever ghosted, again, it's only if we go on like one dinner date and I'm just like, oh gosh, there's really nothing there. Then I just stop responding, and they mutually also stop responding, you know. Although there was this one guy, I stopped responding to him. Sorry, I have Invisalign. I have Invisalign, so I speak like
I need to
this.
get them.
Yeah, and they're actually really effective, but I still think I should have gotten braces. But anyways, this guy, right off the bat, he says, he starts dogging women. He's like, oh yeah, you know, so many women are so like negative. This girl, she kept going on and on about this and that, and my God, and
That deserves ghosting for sure.
and to me, I just thought right off the bat, he just seemed so negative and not very mature, and so I just stopped responding to him. And then he actually surprisingly did write back and say, hey, did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? And I responded and I said, no, not really. I just don't think that we're the same. Like, I just think we're too different. And then he wanted to know why. So he said, well, why? Tell me why. Like, what is it? And to me, I thought it's not worth me explaining. I'm not going to sit here and say, look, you came off negative, dogging all the girls on online dating, and to me, I'm a woman. I don't know you, so to me, I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy he sounds bitter. He sounds immature. I don't like that.
But you've never been on a date with him, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I've never been on a date with him.
Okay.
You know,
That's different. Then I do ghost.
Yeah.
But if it's only because we started chatting. But if I met this person in real life, then I will say we don't have chemistry. I will respond.
I don't just like ghost and it's rude. I don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I stopped talking to him, and I just didn't want to explain it to him.
Yeah.
Do you think that we should?
If they ask, I will. So, true story.
Okay.
So later, we actually,
so you did meet up with him.
we actually matched again.
You rematched. Okay.
And then I forgot that I texted him already.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then when he gave me his number, I texted him. I was like, oh shit, because the old chat box popped up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh crap, this is that guy. 'Cause I was like, okay, I'll send you a text. I never sent him a text, and then because I realized this is
the
that
guy.
guy. I'm a little bit embarrassed.
Yeah.
And then he writes to me and he says, oh, hi, you know, like, and then I'm like, oh, hi, seems we already, you know, we're chatting with each other. And then I explained to him.
Okay.
Because he's like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, hey, sorry. I guess we already chatted with each other, and I just, you know, we kind of just smooth things over, and I explained to him. I said, you know, fine, because we just rematched and we're here now. I'll just share with you that the reason why I stopped talking to you was because you did come off negative, and you were bashing all the women like they're weird. They're all weird, and to me, it sounds negative already. You know?
Yeah.
And why would I want to be like, oh my gosh, really? That was your dating experience? All the women are crazy? Oh well, I'm excited to meet you.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm different. Why?
Well, no.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would I want to go on a date with a guy like that? I don't.
Yeah.
So he was understanding, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, like I'm from Italy, and American girls are just different, and I just don't understand how American girls can so easily like just date on the surface. I get it. We're in LA, you know." And then I went on a dinner with him.
You did? Okay.
I met up with him. I went on a dinner with him.
Have we met him?
No.
Okay.
No. He was a nice guy, but I wasn't feeling it.
Okay. I thought maybe he was the architect. Remember? I don't. Architect or interior designer? I forget.
I don't know. We gotta start. We
No.
gotta add names to these things because I feel like
I like my descriptor names.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Mean guy, cool guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never. Okay, so
Dog guy.
okay, I have ghosted. Okay, maybe a little bit more than I should.
But ghosted in like how? Like on the app when you're just chatting or after a date?
Yeah, early on or later on.
Early on, to me, that's totally
serious.
fine. It's not serious. Like if the conversation like
It's like,
gets boring, then you know whatever.
You know, most of the time it's unintentional ghosting, right? So it's mutual ghosting, right? So it's after the date. You know, I don't text, he doesn't text. So we just
that's fine.
So that's just mutual, right?
But if he texts,
But
you ghost. Do you just not respond?
I have.
Why?
A few times. I don't know because
You know they're gonna.
Was it cowardly?
yeah, I'm a coward. You know what? People just don't date me. Okay, I'm a coward. I'm a horrible person.
She won't text you unless you text her.
Oh my God! Yes, we just learned this about her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to date. Okay. But anyways, yes, I have had people that like they'll text like, they're like, oh, you know, how about not dinner, but how about we do something? I just never
Second date, you know.
I just never responded. I mean, there was this guy I went on 2 days with, and then they were just okay dates. They weren't like, I don't know, like I didn't really have any feelings towards him. I just assumed he didn't have any feelings towards me. And then he waited it was like 3 weeks. And then
3 weeks?
Yeah. And then he
To reach out to you?
Yeah. And then text me like, hi, you know, like, do you want to go do something? And I just never responded.
No, that's ghosting appropriate though.
Oh, okay.
3 weeks?
Because at that point I'm just like, nah.
No, it's
I'm
usually like the next day or 2 days after the date.
Okay. The other time I ghosted was, okay, so I did rematch with somebody. I, for the life of me, cannot remember if I went on a date with him or not.
What do you mean?
Well, because I don't
Now or you mean then?
So it was just not recently, but like at the end of last year, I matched with him. I don't even remember why we matched, to be completely honest. And so then he texted me, which I'm really surprised I didn't save those messages because I save everything, but I didn't save any of the messages. I guess because I guess I must have matched with him like 1 or 2 years prior, maybe.
Okay.
It was when I first moved to LA. It didn't go anywhere because he was really loud. Like when I got into his car.
So you met with him already?
Yes. So
you went on a date with him already, and then they rematched like a year or two later.
Forgot?
Yeah.
Yes. So the first time we went on the date, I just remember he was really loud. We went to dinner. It was fine, but then at dinner, he went on this tangent about how he doesn't tip more than 5 to 10% because he doesn't think waiters or waitresses deserve more than that because he used to like wash dishes or something like that. And he's like, they don't get tip, or if they do, it's very little. he feels like it's only fair. He goes, they don't do much, you know. So I just didn't really like that mentality
Attitude, yeah,
about that. So so then after that, I didn't really respond back to him because his last message to me was, so if a girl gets out of your car faster than Flash, does that mean there's no second date?
She jumped out of that car.
So I did respond to that because, one, I thought that was kind of funny. And then two, I didn't want to be mean. So I was like, yes, you know, sorry, I just don't feel like, you know, there was a connection or whatever. And so just this past year, I must have matched with him again. And I don't really remember, you know, him because I barely remember.
I don't know how you can't remember a person you went on a date
not
with.
memorable?
No, I don't even remember his name. That's how bad it was.
But the pictures, the profiles would look very similar. He like changed everything.
No.
And they usually pick the same profile pictures.
Same profile pictures.
No,
they don't.
I really do not remember. I do not. I can't even put a face to this person.
Ma was like, delete this memory. Everything about him, delete it.
I can't even put a face to him.
Something worse than the tip must have happened.
So what happened? So what happened? Did you go on a date?
So because he brought it up. He goes, "Hey, didn't we match before?" And I was like, "Have we?" You know? And then he kept asking me questions like, "Oh, like, did you used to live in K-Town?" I'm like, "I did."
Oh God.
And then I was like, and so then I was like, I was like, "Where do you live?" Because in my mind, I remember the detail that he was from SGV. And so then he's like, "Oh, I'm in downtown, you know, LA." So I'm like, okay, so it can't be the same guy. And then the more we kept texting, he goes, "Yeah, you know, I'm from SGV. That's my hometown." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's the same guy. It has to be the same guy." And so I was like, okay, maybe I should meet him in person to see if it is truly the same guy, because I can probably only tell if I met him in person again. And so then he asked me on a date. I was like, "Sure, you know, this date works for me." And then he goes, "All right, you know," he said something like, "I'll pencil you in, let you know." And then he never said anything after that. And then I think a day before the date, he's like, "Hey, are you still up for tomorrow?" I'm like, "Well, considering that, one, you never told me where we're going. Two, you never told me what time I was supposed to be meeting you." I'm like, "So probably not." And he goes, "Oh, my bad. I forgot to get back to you." So I was like, he goes, "Well, do you want to try to go on another date?" I'm like, "No." At the point, I was like, "No." I just never responded to that last message. So I don't know if that counts as ghosting, but I just never responded to that last message.
No, but those are appropriate ghosting situations, though.
Okay, so I do ghost appropriately.
Yeah. You go. What was your word that you ghost responsibly? You're ghosting responsibly. It's not like you're just being rude and just not replying. Yeah.
But those are the only times I've actually ghosted someone, I guess. And if there were other times and you guys are watching this, I'm sorry. I probably just don't remember. I'm just really bad at responding to people. Like, you literally have to be in my face for me to be responding to you. And I think that's why it worked for these other people that I used to talk to. It's because they always text me.
I thought I was a worse responder than you.
Hey, but when I respond, I'm very responsive. Like, I would respond like a lot and quickly, and I do like keep the conversation going for a while. But if we stop texting and you stop texting, I just don't text.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
And then if you text again, then yeah, of course I'm gonna respond and whatever.
But you know what though? I think you need to change it up, because I don't think that's opening the doors to very healthy individuals. Sometimes
But what if I don't have anything to say?
Well, but the thing is,
You do, girl. You do. Knowing you.
when you're dating, you have to also go for what you want and speak up for what you want. And if you mostly just sit there and only the very persistent ones come after you, sometimes they're the ones who just like the chase. They like the sport of chasing, and or they're narcissistic, and or they love bomb.
Yeah.
So you might not, the nice guys who are not very persistent in the beginning, because maybe they're a little bit shy too, or they don't know if you're giving them the green light. Sometimes guys come for you and after you pursue you if you give them something to hint that you do like them. Green light. I like you, you know.
But isn't me responding a green light? Because I could just not respond.
Well, but what I'm hearing you say is there's minimal effort, and unless the other guy pursues you, you only put in as much as they do. So then things fizzle and die out easily.
I mean, there's not effort in like initiation, but in regards to being responsive and.
But I think what we're trying to say is that you should initiate as well.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You know what? It's too this is too complicated. You're not supposed to chase, and you're supposed to initiate, but not really initiate. You're supposed to chase a little bit, but give a little bit of a hint. This is too complicated. It's too much. It's too much.
I quit.
It's too much. You know what? I'm just going to respond when you text to me. If I feel like I have something to say to you, I will text you.
But do you get what I'm saying though? If you are not very responsive, unless
But I am responsive.
I think you need to say initiate.
You mirror. You mirror only as much as they give. You mirror. You know, and so after a while, a guy.
Because what if they don't like me?
But oh my gosh. So okay. So like.
Oh my
I was talking to my friend Daryl yesterday,
Yeah.
and even Daryl said a guy gets tired of driving everything. Hey, where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know, like sometimes it's nice for a woman to also contribute, or the guy shouldn't always have to drive every single time. Not
Well,
you know what
yeah, I know
and
that.
and so you're good at mirroring. But my point is, you know, when you give minimal effort and you just tend to mirror them, sometimes the only guys who make it are the guys who love to chase, love to play games, love to pursue, and then they get bored, or they're narcissistic. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying nobody else who's a good guy can get through, but mostly those type of men tend to get through.
Yeah. No,
because they're persistent.
Yeah.
But the good guys, or the guys who are looking for something serious, they're looking for kind of that equal give and take, reciprocal effort.
But maybe it's just not that interested for me to be initiating these conversations.
But it doesn't matter, because when you're first meeting somebody, you have to put in the effort too. Then you can decide, okay, you know what, I've tried and it's really not going the way I want, or I'm getting to know them more and they're not the one, you know?
Well, I know pretty quickly if I like someone or not, though. I'm not like you who takes time to figure out if you like someone or not. I know pretty instantly if I like someone.
Okay, but if you know instantly that you
Maybe that's why I
like
don't
someone.
respond.
Yeah, but then if you know instantly if you like someone, I would challenge you to see, like, what do you like about those people then? Like, what do you not like about people, and what do you like? And the ones that you actually do like, are they actually giving you what you want? And are you actually giving that 50% back too, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like taking a look at the dynamic of that too, you know?
Yeah. Okay, we're going off the wrong tangent now.
Yes.
Like, we're going off a dating tangent, which is let's bring it back. Okay, so ghosting. Have you guys ever been ghosted?
Yes.
No.
Wait. Well, can you define that?
Like you reached out to them and they never responded. Like you went on a date, maybe you reached out to them, they never responded.
No.
I have.
Because I say no because after a date, if they don't respond, then I'm like,
Yep.
mutually not interested.
I agree with you. I do not reach out to a person after a date. Okay. They must reach out back to me and say, hey, I had a good time. Like, I hope you got home safe. Like, initiate the conversation after the date. If they do not, I'm not reaching out to them.
Okay.
So then that's a mutual ghosting then if they don't. But I always allow them to reach out first. I never reach out to them first. But if they do and I don't like them, then I'll give them the answer. Hey, you know, let's just be friends.
I would agree with you that after a date, the man should say, hey, did you get home okay? Mm-hmm. That is the proper thing to do. Mm-hmm. However, I've been hearing some dating gurus say that if a man asks you out, pays for the date, initiates, plans everything, it's actually a nice thing for a woman to say, hey, I had a great time tonight. I just want to say thank you. You know, you know, so it's okay for the woman to text first and say, hey, I made it home. Thank you so much for tonight. You know, it was a really wonderful night. I really enjoyed it. You know?
I don't text because I say that in person. I say to them before the end of the night, hey, thank you for this day. It was really great to meet you, you know,
I
in
think
person.
the gurus are saying kind of like it's kind of like a wrap up.
But if you say it in person, can that perhaps be perceived as you're saying goodbye? It's so good to meet you. It was great. I had a great time. You know, really, really good meeting you.
Maybe it doesn't have to be that way, but I say,
Say it that way.
yeah, if you say it that way, it's just like,
That does sound like a goodbye. Okay.
yeah.
You're like, thank you so much. It was good to meet you.
No, you don't say it that way. I don't say it that way.
His hand. No, he might.
I just say, hey, I had a really good time. This place is really cool. The food is really great.
So you're not like.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about him.
Yeah.
I'm saying this date was awesome. The place is awesome. What a good pick. You know, I keep it away from him and the potential of the relationship, but I'm more like I'm grateful and
appreciation.
Yeah, showing appreciation. Like, oh, I've never been here before, and they have great food and the service is amazing. You know, and then good night. And then I let him comment about the day, and then I'll respond.
Well, I agree with you. I'm like you.
Yeah.
I'm more old school.
Yeah.
I like it for the man to lead.
Yeah.
I don't want to come off desperate and be like, hey, you know, da 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 da. I allow him the space to check in on me and to show me if he
is interested. Yeah.
if he's interested and if he wants to continue. If not, I'm not going to put more effort in.
Yep.
But I'm challenging you because I've questioned this myself. I think like just this past week from listening to, again, some people speak about etiquettes, you know, and from them saying it's actually a nice thing for a woman to do to send a text proactively and say, hey, thanks. It was a great time. I think like, thank you.
Who's
You know,
this? Who's this person that's giving dating etiquette? Are they single? Or are they a man? Have they? That's what I want to know.
I think it's that husky
they
guy. I think it's that husky guy, the husky guy from the UK.
I know him.
gosh.
Yeah.
Matthew Hussey.
Yeah. Sometimes I agree with him. Sometimes I'm like, he goes on and on and on and on. So I don't know. But it made me question myself. And I think that there's no hard black and white rule.
No, there isn't.
You know what I mean? But
I
my
agree.
tendency is like yours.
Yeah, you know, I don't think I personally would not reach out if I'm not looking to pursue something with them. If I really like this person and I really want them to know how I feel and that I want something else, then maybe I will take that initiative to reach out personally first after first date and say, hey, I had a really good time, you know, blah, 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 to let them know where I stand. But that's only if I want the relationship to move forward, then I would make that effort. But if I don't, I'm not going to.
Okay. Well, what about ghosting if you're just texting? Does that count? Does that count as ghosting?
No, if you haven't gone on a first date,
That's
Okay, then I
very
guess it won't.
premature.
Then I guess I won't count it as ghosting then.
yeah, no.
It's
no.
just things fizzling out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me give you the scenario. We matched during COVID, and so because it was right during COVID, no one was allowed to pretty much see anybody. Everything was closed. So we only were texting, and then we were also talking on the phone, and we were FaceTiming for like 3 weeks, and then he disappeared. Does that count as ghosting?
Is it because you were not vaccinated? Is it that guy?
No,
Oh, it's not him.
no.
Okay.
Well, I think you had the story wrong, but it does have to do with vaccination.
The vaccinated, he got upset because the vaccination.
Okay, so here's what happened. So
That is ghosting because you've talked face to face. For me, it has to be like,
on
I mean, FaceTime. Still.
Okay, so that
still,
counts.
yeah. To me, I would.
yeah, he was being a little bitch because, and I mean that with the utmost.
the nicest way possible.
Because we were talking, and it was during the time, it was COVID time, right? And I was positive for COVID, which is why we didn't meet up. So I did do the whole quarantine for that, 7 and 10 days or whatever it was. I went to go get tested. I tested negative, but for some reason I decided to go test it again, and the second one came back positive. So it was negative and a positive, right? And I had a massage set up to come in that day already. Mm-hmm. And so I texted my masseuse and saying, hey, you know, I'm just getting over COVID. I did test negative, but then also tested positive. Like, are you comfortable still, going forward. If you're not, I completely understand. We can reschedule. And he was fine with it. So I was like, okay. And so I told this guy that, and he was just like, he like literally like went off of me like I was being irresponsible. I was like, how am I being irresponsible? I let the masseuse know exactly what the situation was. And it was up to them to decide if they wanted to reschedule. He was okay with it. If he was like, absolutely not, I would have been like, no, I'm not okay with it. And so he just went off of like the deep end on that about me being irresponsible or whatever.
He would probably think he was irresponsible.
Yeah. But and so after that, we talked like, I think we talked a day after that or something like that. And then after that, I just never heard from him again. Yeah. So I was just like, so I was telling MBA and Peter about this, and Peter's like, you don't need that bitch ass. I think, look, it's valid for you to be like, okay, you know what? That's very irresponsible of you to do that. And I don't agree with that, which is fine.
He should have at least said something.
Yeah. Yeah. But then it's just like straight up
disappeared.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, whatever.
I think it's interesting because I had a similar situation. I wasn't going on a date, but I tested positive for COVID and then tested negative the following like 14 days and had a massage appointment. And I called them and I said, I have COVID. I still have some minor symptoms and I tested positive, but can we reschedule? Because I don't want to get my masseuse sick and I don't want the office to get sick and I don't want to impact anybody else. And the person was like, well, that's your decision. And I said, ma'am, this is not my decision. This is not only my masseuse's decision, but your entire office's decision because it could potentially get all of you sick. Yeah. And I'm trying to let you know so that you can help me make the responsible decision. For my decision is that I would like to reschedule it to prevent getting you guys sick. She's like, okay, then let's reschedule you. I was like, what the hell?
Okay.
No, it's not my decision.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm going to get you sick.
In my defense, okay, so I know it was peak COVID time. I know it was a very scary time. It was a scary time for everyone. But I would not have gone through with it. I wouldn't have even offered it as an option if I was still symptomatic, or if it was only like a few days. Like I was already over the incubation period. Mm-hmm. I was no longer symptomatic. I wasn't symptomatic for the last 3-4 days. No fever, no runny nose, so I was symptom free for 3-4 days at that point. And I tested negative. So I felt it was okay at that point. Yeah. Yes, everyone probably thought I was being irresponsible, but it's not like I was running my nose and running a fever and trying to still get this massage.
Well, and you gave it, you disclosed everything and you told the masseuse like, hey, FYI, I tested positive and negative. So like, don't come if you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
However, with this guy, whatever his name is, you don't know.
I don't even remember his name.
That's okay. You don't have
masseuse guy, massage guy.
But you don't know though if maybe he just lost someone to it.
Yeah.
You don't. You don't know if he just lost his grandpa to it, his grandma to it.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't mention it, and maybe it hit home for him.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he reacted the way he did, or he just wanted to judge you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever his reaction was, it's valid. You know what? If you didn't agree with me, fine. You don't agree with me, which is fine. Yeah. I was just giving the story as an example. Do I think it was cowardly? Yes, but I'm also a coward too. So to each his own. so it's very valid.
We all have our reasons. That's the thing, you know, and it's difficult, and it's not like you're gonna be able to convince somebody. Yeah, you know? It's all our own personal feelings and our personal reasons.
I mean, it's just like I was talking to a guy who was not vaccinated after we were no longer talking. We're just friends now. Mm-hmm. He was telling me that sometimes some girls that he'd meet and he lets them know that he's not vaccinated, they don't want to talk to him anymore. Because I'm like, and that's valid. If that's how you feel and those are your deal breakers, and those are your deal breakers. No, I'm not judging you for it. Mm-hmm. It's fine. You want to ghost me? That's fine. It's a little bitch ass move, but it's fine. I've done that too, so it's okay.
I mean, we would do that. We would cut people off. You know, if I was dating somebody and they wanted to pick up smoking cigarettes, I would drop
Oh
them.
yeah, yeah.
I would drop them. Or if they are a smoker, I would never date them. That's like a hard deal breaker.
Yeah, yeah.
So to them, you know, same thing.
Yeah.
Deal breakers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, do you guys think ghosting's ever appropriate?
I think it's not appropriate if there's already been an established connection and or meetings and feelings that's developed, and then you just kind of leave someone hanging. That's really messed up.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave someone hanging, because the thing is, they're gonna think or wonder if there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, it's not them, it's you.
It's
You
the
know?
human connection that I'm concerned with when you meet that person face to face or even FaceTime. Like you're seeing each other, you know, there's the energetic,
Invested.
energetic connection that could make someone become emotionally distraught. That's what I'm concerned about. So if somebody reaches out to me afterwards, then I don't want to cause trauma in their life.
Yeah,
you know, that's the thing. But if we just matched online and we're just initially messaging every other day and hey, you know, and there hasn't been that human connection, then ghosting is totally appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, or if they like go crazy on you, you know, like even if you
did you wrong?
yeah,
did you
if
wrong,
they're
yeah.
like unstable or they like go crazy on you after meeting you, then I think those are like appropriate. But if like there's just no connection, I think you owe it to another human being to kind of let them down gently, that there's just no chemistry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. So when I said ghosting responsibly, that's what I mean is what, you know, Elsie just said is, don't cause or contribute any trauma or leave them hanging where it's going to trigger any trauma, any self-doubt. You know, it's about mutual respect.
Yep.
Even as a human being, even as a friend, don't do that to somebody, you know, if there's already been something where you've invested something and you owe each other that decency.
Yeah.
That decency. But again, ghosting, I've ghosted. And again, it's only when we're texting, nothing comes out of it. We don't meet. That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or we meet on a date and we both just don't respond to each other.
Yeah. Well, that's
Not
mutual.
saying I'm the nicest person in the world. You know, it's common human decency. But if you cross me, you're gonna see another side of me. You know. But just saying, you know.
You're going to get ghosted.
Yeah. I don't know. Ghosting, I feel, I don't know. I think when I got ghosted, I was a little upset, but did I want to know why or did I care? No. I came to that conclusion on my own. So
Yeah, but I think it's that emotional trauma turmoil, the initial like day or two where you're kind of in this deep darkness in your
okay,
mind.
well, I wasn't
like
I wasn't that dark. But,
you know, but you know, it's like an emotional drop, a chemical drop, you know? Like,
yeah.
You know?
Talking about triggering, remember that guy that I talked about earlier where we rematched and we went out to a restaurant? He did say when we reconnected, he did, before we faded out, he did say, you know, like, did I do something wrong? And then he also added, because you not responding to me like this, it's leaving me feeling insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said
wait,
that.
but doesn't it? Okay, so yes, it left him feeling insecure, but isn't rejection also going to leave you feeling insecure?
But it's
a different
rejection through honesty and through not saying anything is wrong with you, but it's like there's no connection, there's no, you know, nothing there. But if you just disappear when somebody is in this mind frame, like, wow, I'm so excited, and you know, I have this thing with this person, I connected with them, like the words that we're saying, the feelings that I'm getting from this person is amazing, and they're like on a high, right? And then all of a sudden it happens like that chemical drop is like real for some people. Some people become very
It can be
insecure, triggering, emotional for people.
Well, yeah, rejection is triggering for people too. I feel like it's pretty equal.
No, but like I said,
equal, but-
rejection is different when somebody says, "Oh, well, you know, I just didn't I just
see you
didn't
as a
feel that.
friend.
I just love you as friend.
But people internalize that too.
Sure.
I don't think so. In a different way. In a different way.
But
No.
it is different.
In a different way.
When you don't address why and you just kind of dip out, they question themselves more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I decided to say it's nothing personal because I didn't want to explain it to him.
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't feel like we're gonna work out,
Yeah.
So I did feel bad because he did say that I'm causing insecurities in him.
And of course, rejection, like, damn, that sucks. I was hoping something would work out with this person, but okay, I'll move on to the next one. Right? It's a different feeling to be rejected, but knowing why, even a surface reason, even not even the real reason, but at least it's like, okay, they're being honest with me, they're talking to me, they're not just
that's not really honest.
It doesn't matter. It's not about honesty. Yeah, it's honest enough. Yeah, it's human enough.
It's expressing disinterest or you're not on the same path.
It's a human level respect.
Yeah.
And not just completely disregarding this person as if they no longer exist, as like they're meaningless in the world.
It's a decency thing.
Yeah.
I guess so. I think either way, they're both rejections. So I guess to me, they're both rejection, whether it's ghosting or whether it's someone saying no.
I mean, it's like this. Rejection. It's like saying your boyfriend breaks up with you.
Yeah. That's
rejection. And your boyfriend cheating on you and leaving you. That's rejection too. But they're different. They're different weights, It's very different than somebody cheating on you and be like, you know what? I didn't want to be with you anymore. And so, I slept with somebody else. And the same thing when you tell somebody, hey, we just don't have a connection versus just like dipping out and just never seeing anything. It's a different level.
You're not going to sit there and be like, oh, it's all the same.
No, it's not the same.
It's not all the same.
I can see it. Like one's disrespectful and one's respectful.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Exactly.
Both still rejection. But
yeah, exactly.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here because that's enough of talk about dating and ghosting because we just went on a tangent about dating, and then we went on a tangent about ghosting and. Wow, that's we have a lot to talk about when it comes to dating.
This is why we started this podcast, though, because we're always talking about stuff.
Yeah,
it's a tough world out there.
Yep.
Some days.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys in another episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.